a few moments ago, the jury, which is composed of theme conveners and session chairs, completed the rating for the awardees in 2 categories. And it was really a few minutes ago because we had to go through the morning sessions before we could come to a final choice. There are 2 categories, best paper oral presentation and best poster. And these were rated on degree of innovation, scientific importance, degree of applicability, and the quality of presentation. The award consists of a certificate that I have the pleasure to hand in to the awardees, and also a check of €1,000. So I have the pleasure to announce first the winner of the best paper oral presentation. The Young Delta Scientist Award goes to Stephanie Jansen from Daltares for the paper Social Learning for Feasible Scenarios of Fresh Water Supply in the Dutch Delta. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The paper was a very clear, precise presentation on an innovative approach to involve all decision makers in a complex, natural, and institutional setting. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And the winner of the Delta, the Young Delta Conference poster, best poster, goes to Michel van Vliet from Wageningen University. For the poster, Risks of High River Temperature for Energy Production Under Future Climate. I just wonder if Michel is still in here. The parent appears not to be here. I just wonder if anybody from the group, from her group, can come here. Well, anybody from Wageningen University? There may be somebody from Wageningen University here.
Sitting next to her, so we'll be in good hands.
Thank you very much on that. And this is a very competent and clear assessment of risks of droughts and heat waves for cooling water discharges and drinking water production for major rivers of the world. And you have to give the check to her, okay?
I will do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Weekend.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And that concludes this award granting ceremony. I would like to ask all of you to join me in a round of applause for all young Delta scientists of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nobre, and congratulations to the winners, even if they are not here, and a lot of success with your future work. In about 20 minutes, the conference will be really over, so it's time for a little reflection. And I would like to ask to the stage for that my good friend, Mr. Pier Vellinga, Professor Vellinga, I should say, from Wageningen University, so he could have taken the prize as well, I suppose. But maybe not for the most young scientist. But I would like to ask him to reflect on the conference and not only to look back, but also to look a little bit towards the future. because we hope we will have a lot of activities going on in the future. He's the co-organizer of this conference, and it was a great pleasure with him working for the last year on this. So, Pierre, may I give the floor to you, please?
Thank you, Paula, for these kind words. Indeed, we work together as a scientific community and as the Rotterdam Town Hall community. And this was really exciting, and we crossed a few boundaries. Now, for me, the virtually impossible task to summarize what we've heard at this conference. And I will run you through everything, but it will be on the internet within an hour. The goal of the conference is to bring together for learning and building an international community of scientists, practitioners and firms, policymakers, urban developers and financing organizations. And looking around and having been here intensely with you, I think we succeeded there. Then we had 9 sessions called Deltas in Depth. And of course, sea level rise. Everyone is curious. Can these guys ever come to a closure on the future sea level? Well, unfortunately not. And this is the words of Wilco Hazeleger of the Met Office. Particular attention should be given to the regional expression. What he means, there is great regional variation. Some parts of the world, it could go down even, and other parts, it could go significantly up. So sea level will vary widely by geographic region. It's a local thing in the end. And coping with these multiple threats is a challenge. The changing river flows, the regimes, the storms, waves, and sea level, where it all comes together in our deltas. How to get that in our models and how to communicate it to the world at large and the local decision makers. The challenge indeed, how to integrate this. Freshwater availability. In delta areas, freshwater availability, river management and coastal zone planning, they are strongly intertwined and you should not address them separately but in combination. And the presentations also showed striking similarities of the technical issues, both in developed and developing countries. We can learn from each other. Of course, the societal aspects are quite different in most cases. Estuarine ecosystems. The difficulty of teasing apart what is climate change, like in our Waddenzee, and what is anthropogenic stress on the estuaries. And the reinforcement of possible climate effects by other stresses, like the destruction of protective vegetation, like was presented to us from the New Orleans case. The diversity of responses of estuarine systems around the globe, they're all unique and scientifically very difficult to put in one model. And full consideration should be given both to water, sediment and nutrients. Those are the essential elements, and scales are very important. The urban areas. Megacities in delta areas with subsidence are increasingly vulnerable, and climate change adds to this. In many places, sea level rise is smaller than subsidence. Be aware of that. Presentations show that we're only at the beginning, scratching the surface in unraveling the complexity. The main challenge is how to keep up with urban dynamics, especially in Asia. Sometimes our study looks like historic analysis. These buildings are there and already changed before our studies finish. So we have to learn there. In the end, maybe it's inspired design, as at the opening session. This notion of meaning may be more important even than number crunching on statistics and uncertainty management. So if you have a goal, you build something with adaptation, and maybe we need it in the back of our heads, the number crunching, but they may not be leading because there are so many uncertainties. In land use, deltas have historically been areas of competing land use with a long-term trend away from agriculture towards urbanization. And with climate change, this is likely to remain the case. But it also offers an opportunity for deltas to lead the way globally, both in tackling adaptation and mitigation. Governance. Governance and economics. Well, some of the leaders in this field, they were struck by the amount and the variability of research in governance and adaptive capacity amongst the many countries. And looking in